Jay from Team DMA at it again. Another video. This video is going to be regarding budget decks. So, if you read the title, you should already figure it out. This is my take. I believe I am the king of budget decks. For the last 5 years, I'm unmatched in the planet Earth with making the most cheapest and the most powerful Dark Magician budget decks. There's so many people that witness, and then there's so much evidence in my channel for 5 years of building extremely super cheap decks and destroying all the decks that exist. As long as the decks exists, it's been destroyed. The proof is in my channel, regardless of how powerful it is or the ranking. So, as you already know, I've been buying cards and selling and helping the community for a lot of years. I have more years in my belt than any other channel in YouTube. If anybody wants to challenge it, go ahead. All that's going to happen is whoever challenges is going to give a free deck away, and I'm going to give one for free as well. The reason is because I build cheap decks and I know how to build them, so it doesn't affect me. I know what I'm doing. And it's come up to my attention after looking for budget decks on the online. I ran into nothing but shit. Like, people, it's not a surprise to me, but people don't know how to build Dark Magician budget decks. Konami doesn't know how to build Dark Magician decks, and the funny thing is the Dark Magician community doesn't know how to build the good Dark Magician deck either. So they just don't know how to build a Dark Magician deck overall. So I think Dark Magician decks, I think I've sold over over 100 Dark Magician decks under my belt of budget. Top tier, about 5. But budget, about a little over 100, maybe like 100 and something. It's not that much. Over a span of like 5 years, it's not a lot. And the budget decks range anywhere from $100 or less. People tend to go for the $50 to $80 range, and those are the decks that I sell. Now, I've been asked by one of the Team DMA members to build like a Dark Mission deck and a budget like a 15-20, but like I said before, it's not that it's impossible, but people don't understand how shitty it is gonna be. Like, I take pride in Dark Magician, man, so I'm not gonna do that. And then also, like I said before, when you sell the deck, the online, they take about 10 to 12% away from your sale. So even if I sell, let's say I built the deck for $15, right? When I sell it, I'm only gonna see $10. The online shop's gonna keep 5. So I lose time and then I lose money. It's like a double loss. And then it's not even 15 because you still have to pay for the shipping. So that's why I disagree. I'm not gonna waste my time. Now this deck I built it for $25, but there is an issue. Currently, like in the last 4 days, cards have been seeing an increase in price. So we're gonna go over these quickly, take a look at some of these decks. Let me know in the comment section what you think, what you feel. I'm gonna tell you the prices. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. If anyone wants to challenge the price that I say, I dare anybody. I'll show you the link and you can go and see the prices yourself. It's mind-boggling. Your jaw's gonna drop. Most of these decks are full crap and they're being sold super expensive. So we're gonna take a quick deep dive into this and take a look at this. And I'm telling you, I crown myself. If somebody wants to take away my crown, challenge me to a duel with a budget deck. They won't beat me. There was no one who can beat me, guaranteed. Because top tier Dark Mission decks can't even beat Flunderies. They can't even beat Kashtira. They can't even beat what's the other one? Labyrinth. And I can beat them with a budget deck. So I know nobody's gonna stand a chance when it comes to budget. Let's move on to the deck profiles. So this is the first profile. So I found most of them. I went through like 6 online shops and Some of them were like too crappy, like super expensive and too crappy. Some of them didn't even have the Dark Magician. They just had uh, the the Magician of Dark Illusion, and they had some weird cards, and I just didn't want to cover them because it's a total waste of time. But I saw some on eBay and other websites, which did show some Dark Magician cards, but the prices were crazy. This one was for $45. You can see the Dark Magician, the Magician of Dark Illusion, the Rod, uh, the the robe, and you can see all the cards here. And then they mixed it together with the Magician Girls, the Apple Magician, and all that. And then you got the three circles, and you got all this stuff to make your fusion with the Keeper and all that, and the three village, the veil. You can see it for yourself. The wand, all this stuff, the navigation, the eternal soul, magic, jammer, all this stuff here that you see here, the paladin and 2XYZ. I believe that this deck, you shouldn't even buy it. It's a waste of your time. You're better off creating your own deck. This deck's for 40, 45 plus the shipping. You're looking at like $50. So what's my take on this deck? It's complete crap. It's horrible. And it's way too much money. And then that's not even the worst part. People are actually buying it. I saw like 30 sold so far, something like that. It's hilarious. People are not smart, man. Um, the next one, this one's from TCG Player. So the whole world loves TCG Player, and they're crap. They're crap. And let's take a look. It says here that's a 40 card deck. So you have here the monsters. So this one is the most expensive out of all. It's about $95 to $100 deck. But I mean, it is worth that value. I'm not gonna lie. The Phantasma, Fantastical Dragon, they're already going up in price. In case you didn't know, a lot of cards right now, as we speak, the cards are going up in price. So I mean, this one is worth what you're paying for. Like, I'm not saying the deck is good, but the value of it matches it. All the other ones are crap. So you got the Dark Magicians, the Phantasma, the Illusion, Apprentice, Dark Magician Girl. Then you have the Veilers, Tamias, the Tamias, and you see the rest of them there. And then you have the Draw Power with 3 Super Polys. Now the Super Polys were cheap at a time. They were like $1 each, but no one wanted to buy us. And now they're like $4 to $5. So this deck is worth, like I said, is worth the value. It's worth about $95 to $100. Waking the Dragon, Navigation, Eternal Soul, Skill Drain, and the 3 uh, Circle. There's a bunch of other cards. You can scroll back up, and then here on the extra deck, here's the Chalice Fusion at the front, and then you have the Paladin, the Dragon Knight, and then you have the Dark Magicians, the Cavalry, and you have the rest of Poly targets, and then you have the Falcon, and then you got the Red Eyes Metal, XYC, and then you got the Ebon, and then you got the Daybreaker, the Magical Warrior, and then the Wee Witch, and then the Imdak. So, I mean, to be honest with you, this deck, all that's carrying it is the Super Poly. Without it, the deck ain't worth squat. But you already know, even if they took the Super Poly, they would sell this deck for probably another $40, $45. And it's bad, real bad. The deck's bad. Another waste of your money. So there's people buying this deck, so whatever. And then I'm going to pause it because I want to skip over mine. I don't want to show my version. Here's another $40, $45 deck that I saw online. So this one was a little bit better, but actually the ratios, instead of doing 3s of, he should have put more of the singles. But I can see the build of the deck. Like when I see it, I can see what he's doing. But he could have changed. He could have changed like once he has playsets of, like Dark Magic Attack and the knives and the 3 dimensions, and then the spellbook Spellbook of math or whatever it's called. Let me see if I can. Oh, the magic formula. He could have changed those out for some other like special summon monsters and stuff like that, and the deck could be okay. But I mean, the value of it is probably like this one's would be considered like 15 bucks, but no way the deck's worth like 40, $45. So that's crazy, man. And it doesn't even have extra deck monsters. And then here's gonna be the last one before I introduce my profile. Um, this one is also, I believe, from TCG. So this one's the best out of all of the decks so far. This one you can tell what it's doing, and it's very relevant. Like it could actually do something. I could tell off the bat. You got the Black Luster, and then from the dark and light removal with the effect veilers, and then you can see the rod and everything else how it works. And then he's got a lot of draw power, which is what makes the Dark Magician work. I've been telling people for 5 years. And you got the circles, the three allure, para is it the desires, and then you have the right hand. That's good. I like that. He's got the right hand, the village. I mean, I have nothing to say about this deck. It's actually good. Is it worth? Is it worth the $45? Actually, that's a lie. This is the $50 one. So let me pause so you can see what I mean. When you click on the online on this, like you use your finger to push it, it takes you to that deck. It takes you to this deck. This is the deck that's also on TCG Player. It's $50. So, question, is it worth the $50? Definitely not. Is it a good deck? The best out of the budget decks that I've seen. But I mean, it's $50. And then it doesn't even have an extra deck for $50. And in reality, to build this deck, you might spend like 20 bucks to build it. So, I mean, like I said, it's not bad. If it was worth 20, even $25, to be honest with you. If the deck said 20 to 25, I would tell you it's excellent. Because it's $50, that's a lot of money. And you're not going to be able to compete with like the meta. Forget the top tier, you're going to be struggling with the meta. What does the meta do? The meta does 1 to 2 negations per turn. And it can blow up your field. It's pretty nasty. It can block you from special summoning, trigger your monsters with kaiju. The meta is already strong. It is. The nowadays meta is pretty strong. The nowadays meta is like what the top tier was in 2020. So now we're going to be taking a look at my profile. So this is for my structure deck, and we're going to be switching up to it. And I think it's right here. Here it is. So here's mine. So initially the deck was 25, but I changed it to 30 because the cards are going up in price already. But this is what we got going on. We have 2 Dark Magician, 1 United Dragon, which none of the budget decks have. You have 1 Painter Tops. You already know it's broken. 1 Magician of Dark Illusion. And then you have Bestials. None of the other decks have Bestials. The introduction of Bestials. 2 Apprentice Illusion for searching Dark Magician. Also creating into the fusion. Bringing bodies also. And going into link climbing. Then you have the Dark Magician Girl, the 3 rods. The Prophecy with the whole engine. You have the Jester for the bodies, and there's some combos followed up in there. What I do is you can special it, and then from there link it to Moon Maiden, and then hit it with the restage, and then bring it back, and then link it and go into a Crawley, draw power, boom. Or you can need it for bodies, or you can go into your extra deck. Like I said, it's helpful in a lot of ways. And then from there you have the Chaos Sorcerer. I was gonna include the Black Luster Soldier, but I want the Allure of Darkness to hit 100% of the time. I don't ever want a case where you have the Blackluster Soldier and you can't use Allure. If you have it, you can use Allure on all of your monsters. The only one you can't use it on is United Dragon. But what are the chances of that? All the other monsters are dark, and people are going to say, yeah, the prophecy is not. Well, the prophecy is for draw power. Why would you remove it? You need it for draw power. So from there, you have the Dark Magic Attack, the Spellbook Engine, the Allures, Feather, the Spellbook Engine, and then the Goblin called by the Grave, Twin Twister, Super Poly. Super Poly went from $1 to $5 already. And then, what is it? Secrets of Dark Magic. And then you have my combo that I love a lot, which is the restage with the right hand. The restage is not as powerful unless you put a Magician Souls, make that Magician Souls work. And then you have two circles for the draw power, or in case they remove it because you're not playing any Soul Servants. And the Soul Servants lets you recycle them. So if they banish it, you always have another one. That's why I put two. And then you have the Magician Salvation. And then you have a top tier card right here. Grave of the Secret Ancient Organism. All the top tier decks that exist, this card kills them. If you can protect it, they're gone. You can compete. Even the meta won't stand a chance with this deck. I already tested it. I tried it. I'll post up some videos. It's pretty good. In fact, some of the duels I'm already dueling with this deck. But in the duels, you have to pay attention because sometimes I'll link climb or fusion into the 130 style. But some of the duels are with this deck, and it is so sick, man. You have two. There can only be one, three. Skill Drain, and then you have one Eternal Soul. You can include a second if you like, and then you have the Dark Bribe. So what is the Dark Bribe for? Because people have been asking and they're wondering, like, that's just a dumb card. Why not play something else? Because there are specific cards when you're dueling in top tier that need to be hit. So a few of the honorable mentions here are the Lightning Storm, Feather Duster, or Evenly Matched. That card is just sitting there in the back collecting dust until they use those cards. Boom! I trigger it, negate it, survive, and I win the duel. If you don't believe me, go see my duels, man. I do it all the time. I know what I'm talking about. So the deck itself is 25. So the deck beats all the decks that you've seen. With the price increase of some of the cards, the deck is currently now worth $30. Every week that goes by, I already know the cards are going to be going up in price, up in price. In my opinion, based on the market and all that, this deck is going to end up being worth somewhere around $45 to $50, just like the other deck. But it's going to be way, way more broken and better. And you can see me duel. I do all kinds of crazy stuff, man, against like strong meta decks that negate you two per turn. They have Baron de Fleur and this batter. This deck murdered it. You saw what I did. So this is a $25 deck, man. That's hilarious. Some people, one card is worth like $30. This is the value of one card. That's hilarious. And believe me, man, this deck is strong as heck for the money. You're not gonna beat it. You're not gonna beat it. 100% guaranteed. No one in YouTube, no one on planet Earth can match me with budget decks. I'm telling you, this is a broken budget deck for $25 to $30, and as every day goes up, the value is going to keep increasing. Quote me on that. Like, quote me, mark my words that this deck is gonna be more and more and more expensive. We're already starting to see a lot of these cards go up in price. The ancient organism was $1. They're like $5 now. So I'm telling you, I think a month from now, this same deck is 25 and then 30. It's probably gonna be 40 already pretty soon. Now on the bottom, you can see the extra deck. It doesn't include an extra deck, but if you want an extra deck, the number of the dollar prices on top of each card. For example, here at the very bottom, the first one is what's his name? Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, he's $1. Then the Dark Magicians, the fusion is $8. Starving Venom is $1. People are gonna say that was just a few cents. Then buy it. And then um, I told people to buy this past the Dueling Heroes, and no one listened to me. Right? They were $3, man. That's what I bought it for. They were $3. They're now $7 to $10. The Garuras, and then you have the Doritos, the Blackluster Soldier, the one everyone loves. But I believe that the better card of this whole deck, and it even is, I believe that it's even better than Dragoon, is Scareclaw Tryhard. Because none of these cards can beat a Dragoon, not even the Blackluster Soldier. But Tryhard, Scareclaw, it can beat it. It'll switch it to defense, it'll skip the negate, and it'll kill it. $1, man. Don't wait, because that card's gonna, once people start playing it more and they get used to it, it used to be $15 to $18. When I bought my copy, it was $8. Then I went to 15 and 18, and then they got these reprints. They're $1. Don't sleep on them. I'm telling you, man, take my word. Don't sleep on it. And then you have $1 for the Phoenix. And then the $2, that one you don't really need, but I just put it in there. It's the Magical Warrior, or the Magical Warrior. I think I don't remember the first name of it, but it's called the Magic. It's something Sky or Sunrise Sky, or I don't remember, something Magical Warrior. Basically, you get 2 spell counters by following the effects, and you can pop a card on the field as a spellcaster. After that is Crawley for the engine, and then you have the Swordsman, the Dragon, the Swordsman. That one's a light. Also, you can make the Dragon Knight, and then for there can only be one combos. There's a crazy combo that I have that you link send special with Eternal and Circle, and your opponent's frozen, but you're doing everything you want. And then you can also turn it off and on with the what's it called, with the Twin Twister, or you can go into some of your monsters and pop excuse me, pop a card. There's a lot of cards that you have that you can incorporate to the deck that can pop cards, and you can pop your own. You can pop your own cards. With a Blackluster Soldier, you can even remove them. Okay, and then the last one is Relinquish Anima, and that one's made with a Jester, and that's gonna be it for for the profile. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that my deck is like the cheapest and the most powerful out of all them all. And then you can add on top of the extra deck. If you were to add this whole deck together, I already did your homework for you. The extra deck is about $28 or so. In reality, it's probably like 25 because you don't need one of them. The Magical Warrior, the light one, you don't need him. You can get it out. And the whole deck together would be worth somewhere around $45 to $50 for this crazy powerful deck. Then all you would have to do is add another 15 to put Dragoon in this deck. You can play Dragoon Turbo mix with this. Imagine that. And I can make the Dragoon Turbo mixed with this. And it would be, the 3 ref would be free. I don't even care about them. And all you have to do was add the $15 on top. You would get the whole entire deck for, what is it, like $65, $70. Cheaper than the other one that's like 100, way more powerful. You'll be able to walk all over everything. With that, you should be able to take on the meta already with a budget deck. Dark Magician. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Leave a comment. Give me your thoughts, what you think. why it is that so many people are selling crap Dark Magician decks and so super expensive. If you would like to purchase one of these decks, let me know. They're going to be available. I'm not going to make a lot, probably one of each. This one's a special edition version because I have the 2025, 65, and the 130, but this one is a special edition made thanks to, I think it was Adele who was asking for like a $15 to $20 deck, and I made this special, this one's special based on what he said, and showing him it can be done. It can be done. And this is what I came up with. Hopefully you guys like it. And with that having been said, you guys, God bless, take care, and Dark Magic Attack.